Ooh, yeah. I dare to be different. 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 I dare. I dare. I dare to be different. I dare to be different. I want to welcome you guys to Dream Chasers Radio. For all you guys who are returning, welcome back. For all you guys who are just now listening, you can get us on iTunes, iHeart, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, Deezer, TuneIn, Anchor. I mean, I can keep going. I've learned all these places. I'm doing it good. I'm doing it good. Man, I tell you one thing. I hope that you're keeping up with all the goals that you've set for yourself during this coronavirus break, because that's what it is. When things get back and running, I know we're going to get back and running a little slower than normal, but once everything gets going, you're going to be right back in the rat race. So I say, write that book now, record, release, do everything that you were supposed to be doing, at the end of the year. And that's exactly what my next guest has just told me. They have pushed up some stuff only because, hey, why not? And I want to welcome to the show, James Birdie. Welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, we're holding up. We've just come out of level 4 lockdown in the last few hours here in New Zealand, so it's now locked down with a few advantages, like we can do contactless shopping and get takeaways and things like that. So most of the time, we're pretty happy at the moment.
Yeah. Oh man, that hasn't lifted over here. I think I'm not really sure what's going on. I really don't care right now. I'm in my house. I'm just gonna stay here. But
That's probably the better idea.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, tell me what's going on with you guys.
Well, the Ivy guys got bored in isolation.
Yeah.
We finished an album, actually 2 since last time. We put out Still Running in January, the deliberate decision not to promote it. And then we had some more music finished. We thought, okay, now we've got to do the remasters of the catalog, which we just finalized a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
So then we ended up being bored, and we decided, hey, we've got that other album of stuff we're sitting on. Let's take a listen. We found it very scary and very relevant. So with some vocal tweaks, we put it out about a week ago, and that is how Echoes and Silence came into some form of existence.
Wow. Well, that's a very big title, Echoes and Silence. Okay, so tell me all about this new, release and how is it so similar to what's going on right now?
Well, Echoes and Silence was at first written as a reflection on our lives. We're coming up to that mid-20s, but where you're not exactly kids anymore. You're not exactly in that category of young. I mean, I'll be 25 next year, so that's sort of when that big milestone kicks in. And this was sort of a good chance to look back, turn of the decade. What have we learned? What have we haven't? And then somewhere about March, this thing that I don't want to name comes up and sort of turns the planet on its head, which gave the lyrics this whole other meaning of, we're alone, we're really starting to hurt. These are the things that used to be before. And here's to the new world we're about to enter, because now that we've crossed that line, there is no going back.
No. Wow. You're right. I don't want to mention it either because, I'm trying to avoid even saying it. Don't say it because, I don't want to know, but what have you missed? What has it been the one thing that you've missed since this whole thing has started?
I could say something like the takeaway shop or being able to shop in shops or something like that. But actually, it's getting to see my friends, getting to see the guys I play music with.
Yeah.
It's the social bit I miss.
Hmm.
Even though we're in level 3, we're still a way off from seeing each other.
Yeah.
And it's likely that when we get to the end of our level 3, which is our waiting room to see whether we go back to level 4 or go down to the next level,
Hmm.
my birthday is on the day that this expires, so I'm not really making too many plans. The best
That's
birthday gift is if we get out of this.
yay! I hope so.
But
Yeah.
I'm not jinxing anything yet. No,
Wow.
it's mainly the people I miss, and as soon as I see them, I'm spending my paycheck on pizza for all of them.
I hear that. You know, the same thing here. It's like we took for granted, I think, the times that we could go out, and now that we're all stuck at home doing, you know, not everybody's stuck at home. You have the essential workers, of course, and I want to give them props. You know, they put their lives on the line every
Absolutely.
day to help save lives and to do the things that, well, you know, I don't do, which, you know, I couldn't see myself doing. But as far as like everything else that's going on in the music, you know, Echoes and Silence, that's like a big title. How did you come up with that? I mean, I know this was right beforehand. So why Echoes and Silence? And it really reflects now. I mean, it really reflects now.
Thank you for the response. While we're on the note of supermarket workers, we all go outside and clap for them and say thank you that way.
Mm-hmm.
I've got friends here who are essential workers, and I was talking with them on Skype the other day.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing we can do for them is when this is all over, keep that love going. How about a pay raise for them? How about
Yes.
having health insurance for them? I've heard
Mm-hmm.
America's especially bad with this.
Oh yeah.
New Zealand's not safe, but we
Mm-hmm.
need to do this as well because they barely get by as it is. What's
Yeah.
so special about now if we can pay them that rate now, why can't we do it all year round?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. That was the
To
reason why
get
I
to
got
your
out of the health.
question,
That's the reason why I got out of the health industry, because I was a caretaker and I was like, I can't work for this. I can't even live off of this. So I had to get out.
and here you are now.
Yeah.
To answer your question, the reason we had Echoes and Silence as the title was because the first track on the album is called Echoes and Silence.
Mm.
And it talks about what the chorus goes, if I could go back in time, then I would do it again, but
Mm.
it's over now. The ocean calls my name, but winter sings no more. Then you've got the closing track, Home,
Mm-hmm.
unless you count the hidden thing the hidden track thing.
Mm.
Home, one of the last verse goes, through echoes and silence, I'll find my way. Still hearing your voice at the end of the day. I've got my scars, but
Mm-hmm.
you've got my heart, and I'll see you when we go home. So
Mm.
we found that this had never happened in any Ivy Blue album where we had the opening track and the closing track having the same reference. So we
Mm.
felt that was a good bookend,
Mm-hmm.
hence the title.
Wow. Wow. Well, I want to thank you for being on the show again, you know, and just, you know, keeping it going. I mean, it takes a lot to keep it going. What have you learned from the last time that we've spoken? You know, what has advanced for you personally in your music career?
I don't know if much has changed. People go to more social media now than what we used to,
Mm-hmm.
but we're now at a point where at the end of these remasters, I think July, August, we're putting out a greatest hits of everything we've done in the last 7, 8 years since we started.
Mm-hmm.
For us, it's been more about not so much gaining success, it's about sustaining success.
Mm.
Because we're at that point now where all eyes are on us.
Mm-hmm.
It's real. It doesn't so much matter whether you've gained success or not. It's when you get there, you have to sustain it and
Oh
keep
yeah.
it level. Because if you can't sustain it, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah. I know.
We're lucky that we can do this, and as soon as we can, I think the goal was later in the year to play some New Zealand shows based around the album.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the time comes, there'll be time to go visit all our friends again. And when that happens, I can't wait. But let's get this over and done with. And for God's sake, if you are going to inject yourself with disinfectant or bleach,
No.
just know natural selection may apply to you. And you are stupid. You twap.
Oh my
I
God.
can't believe we have to say this.
I am not. I am just not. I'm not. It's
Thank goodness for that.
Oh gosh, no.
See, we get that side of your news in New Zealand, and we're laughing
Oh
at
my
you.
gosh, no. No. I have nothing to do with that.
Thank goodness.
Like bleach and all that stuff is for cleaning my clothes and my whites and disinfecting my countertops.
And what I don't think President Thing understands is that some people use this method to commit suicide. So really, you shouldn't have said it in the first place.
Well, I mean, even jokingly, you have people who don't understand what he's trying to say and they take it literally. And, so that's a whole nother subject, but it is sad to see that, even though the humorous side of it, you can't tell when some people just don't show when they're telling a joke or not. And even if they are, you have people who don't understand, who can't comprehend certain levels of education and expression, who think it's literal. So you got to be careful.
And there's always that line. I was saying last time we were here, we almost made an album that went over it. We knew it was time to pull it back. I think the world needs to pull back, do what they need to do now, stop being silly.
Yeah.
And then when this is all over, maybe it's time to start looking at connection again.
Yeah.
And actually not taking things for granted anymore. I hope that's one thing people will get out of this.
I hope so. And I hope that the world can connect because, literally we are in the same boat together. So let's see what happens.
Well,
James, thank you so much. How can people reach you? How can people hear your music?
Well, Echoes and Silence is out now on all the streaming and digital sites, I hope. And the next things that are coming out are the last of the remasters, so stay tuned for that between now and August with the greatest hits and the remasters. Best place to check me out is James Brody Spaces on Instagram or Ivy Blue Spaces on Facebook. There's a website we're finishing off, which I believe you've got the link for.
Yes.
And from there, basically just watch those, stay tuned, and we'll see you as soon as we can.
Awesome. James, thank you so much for being on the show again. I appreciate it. Don't go anywhere. Hey, you guys, I'm thanking you right now for tuning in to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond, and James Brody. It is a special thing when we have return guests, and James has a new album. We will have all those links in the description box below. So click on it. It'll take you straight there. You don't have to do anything else, no extra moves or anything like that. And we're expecting great things. He is maintaining, and like James said, it's going to be the hardest thing that you do. It's not going to be the journey up. It's going to be the journey to maintain. I want to thank you guys again so much for tuning in to Dream Chasers Radio. And don't forget to, James, you can help me out. Can you help me out here? You ready? Don't forget to dare to be different. You remember that?
Yeah. If you dare to be different, you're going to go a long way. Dare to be the same, it's going to be lame.
Thanks, James. All right, guys. Bye.